Welcome back, Year 8. So you'll be really happy to know that this is going to be our last video for the geology topic. So I'll probably put up a revision video next week, but that's not going to be compulsory to watch, but obviously I'd encourage you to watch it for your revision. So this video is going to be looking at the different mining techniques that are used in Australia. So we know that rocks and minerals are often found within the Earth's crust. And a lot of these rocks and minerals are quite valuable to us, so we can use them for a range of different purposes. However, first we've got to get to them. And this is where mining comes into play. So let's have a look at this diagram here. And there's a couple of different mining techniques that can be used. And the technique that is used depends on where the mineral or the type of rocks, I guess, that you want to get are actually sitting. So here you can see there's some iron. Whoa, that's not what I want. Here we go. Here you can see some iron. Now this iron is sitting quite close to the surface of, here's our surface of the Earth. It's quite close to the surface and quite spread out. Whereas down here we've got things like quartzite and granite. All right, these are much further down, so it means they've got to use a different technique in order to get them out. Now, the two different mining techniques that can be used are open cut. So they're the ones that are used for things that are kind of closer to the surface, as well as underground mining. And underground are used for the ones that are really, really deep down in the Earth's crust. All right, so the first one we're going to talk about, or the first type of mining, is open cut mining. So you might have seen some of these on your travels around Australia. I know I've been to an open cut mine out in Kalgoorlie in Western Australia. And basically these are just like huge pits, okay? So they create these massive pits and they're trying to get minerals that are close to the surface, all right? So they're not drilling down, they're pretty deep, but they're not having to drill down hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of metres. What you'll be able to see in this photo is it almost looks like they've made a whole lot of steps. So you can see the mine, if we look in this area here, it looks like it's stepping down. And what these actually are, just bringing another photo over here, these are actually access roads. So it's almost like a giant spiral that they've made, and each of these steps is a road that the huge trucks can then travel along to get right down to the bottom. So it's down in this bottom pit where they're actually going to be extracting their minerals. What they sometimes do as well is, I'll just get some drawing instruments out. What they might do as well is, from where these access roads are, is they might drill inwards, okay, and get some of the ore that is sitting here, the ore or the mineral in there. Okay. Here's another picture that demonstrates an open cut mine. So you can see in this one is, here's what the surface of the Earth was like. They want to extract this area of rock. Okay, so that's what's valuable to them. All the rest of this light blue section is sort of like just waste rock. They don't need it. So what they do is they actually explode away the surface rock. So they'll put in some explosives that will cause this rock to be exploded away. They'll then bring in their trucks through this access road and cart away all of that rock. Once that's done, they will then put explosives in to get rid of this section of rock. Again, another access road will be made and the trucks will cart off all of the waste rock. And they'll do that until they have proper access to the actual rock that they want. So for all of you sort of car lovers out there, the car enthusiasts, there are some massive, massive pieces of equipment that go into open cut mine sites. So this is an example of one of the trucks that they use, and you can see how big it is in relation to just your average. Well, that's actually a four-wheel drive there, so really, really massive trucks. Here's another picture that I really like. This is a truck that is actually transporting one of the mining trucks. So if you look carefully here, you can see, obviously here are the four tyres. This is the base of the truck. So up the top here would be the rest of the truck there. And this is your normal sort of semi-trailer that you see on the road. So that gives you a bit of an idea of the scale of operations here, thinking about how big these trucks are, therefore how many rocks and waste rocks that they're taking out of the mine sites as they travel along. Really interesting stuff. Our other type of mining is called underground mining. So this is when minerals or ores are found really, really deep in the earth. It's not really economical or viable for them to make an open cut mine, just because there's so much excess rock that would need to be removed. So what they do is they form these big tunnels. So on top of an underground mine, you can't really see much. There might be a few buildings, but as you can see, they drill down and form these big, what they call a mine shaft. So you go down in almost like an elevator in that, and then there's a whole lot of different tunnels. And they use these tunnels, they put equipment in there. They can have trucks and things in there or trolleys, and they obviously load the valuable minerals from there. Here's another picture of an underground mine. So as you can see, sometimes these ones might go down on a slope. So that's just going to depend on where the minerals are or the ores that they're actually trying to reach as to whether they're going to go straight down or go on a slope. It's also got to do with the stability of some of the rocks around, all right? So if it's more or less stable, that's going to affect, I guess, the layout of all of the tunnels within that one. And there you have it. That's sort of your very quick little rundown of mining. There's a couple of flashcards I want you to make from this one. The first one is an ore. I used the word ore, but I didn't explain what it actually meant. So can you look up what an ore actually is, and then do some flashcards for an open cut mine and an underground mine. You can do that whilst you're waiting for the rest of the class to finish the video. Awesome, great job.